Hey guys, Black Sun here with another video. So human beings are good at two things. One, complicating their own lives, and two, justifying why they did so. Have you ever really wondered why it feels like nobody really makes money? And what do I mean by that? Of course people make money, they work jobs, they do what they have to do to make money. But why is it so hard to move from one place in life to the next? You know, if you make more money, you get moved up to a higher tax bracket, so you get taxed more. It's always like life has a way of balancing itself out, you know what I mean? And that kind of sucks. So sometimes we get complacent in life, and I guess we just buy things we don't need and by engaging in consumerism in this manner, it kind of keeps us stuck where we are in life in such a way that it feels like life is never going to get better or change. But really, if we just kind of took a look at like maybe some of our desires that we have, and maybe control some of those wants. You know, when I look inside my closet, I barely have anything in there, but I look at some things I could probably part with, things that I thought were important at the time. And then after you have them, the initial happiness that you felt comes back to what's called a baseline. And this is kind of a psychological idea that I've read about over the years, and I'm sure you guys have heard of as well. But you know, when people try to keep up with the Joneses and buy things that they really don't need, and then they wonder why they're struggling with money, it really should come as no surprise. But people do this all the time. Like, I've done this before, where you know, it's like you buy something you want, you get the thing that you want, you enjoy it for a while, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. But then you think to yourself, oh man, if I had just saved that money, I'd be able to pay that bill this month, or a little bit easier this month, or what have you. But sometimes we buy things because it simply feels really good to buy things, right? Sometimes when we buy things, it makes us feel really good about where we are in life, right? Like, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that because I can buy things that I enjoy. I'm doing okay in life. I can afford this. And maybe you're not, you know? Like, buying things is a way of coping with where you are in life. You might not be where you want to be. I know that's my case. I'm not where I want to be in life right now. And sometimes it's very easy to go on eBay and buy shit you don't need. Maybe shit that comes from your childhood and makes you think of better times, and you're like, oh, if I just had that again, somehow my life would be better. Somehow it would be easier. You know, and I'm here to tell you that it's not. It might make you happy for a little while, but at the end of the day, you came into this life with no thing, you will leave with no thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know, it just kind of gets me thinking, you know, like, sometimes when you compare yourself to other people, which is not good, I don't recommend that, but we all do it here and there, right? Let's be honest. What you're looking at and you're comparing yourself to are stages of past progression, right? You might be looking at somebody who has got a house. Like, I don't have a house of my own right now. I still live with my parents. But I look at somebody's house, I'm like, damn, I wish I had my own house, you know? And I'm like, someday, right? But the person who has that house, they've got a whole host of new problems as a result of having that new house, or that house in general. It doesn't have to be new. They have to take care of their yard. They have to make sure their house is up to date with their furnace, their AC. Maybe they need a generator just in case the power goes out. So you see what I mean? More money, more problems. It's very true. That wasn't just a line in a rap song. That is the honest to God truth. More money, more problems, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I had a family of my own, you know? And then I think about how expensive it is to have kids and how expensive kids are. You got to put them through school, get them their shots, take them to the dentist, the doctor, you know, get them to do their homework, you know. And I mean, once you have children, you know, life's not about you anymore. It's about those kids, right? So this is why I'm not huge on sexual irresponsibility, which seems to be so prevalent in today's current zeitgeist, no pun intended, available now on Amazon.com, of our current culture, you know, and that is just kind of gets on my nerves. But people complicate their own lives and justify why they did so. So many people make decisions about what job they want next, or where they want to live, or what car they want to drive, based on something somebody else has, or what they feel like they should have at a certain age. Like, I'm 33, and a lot of people my age are like, oh, I should have this, 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 and this, and this by now. I should have my 401k figured out. I should have my retirement plan figured out. I should have 2 kids. I should have a house that can host a single family. I should have a big enough yard that they can play in. I should have this, I should have that. And nobody said you had to have any of those things, right? But again, now once you have those things, you're categorized in a certain tax bracket, right? And you're going to stay there until you start making more money. And if you make more money, now you move up to a higher tax bracket, meaning you get taxed more. So let's say you go from $75,000 a year to like $130,000 a year, right? That's a significant income jump. So now you're going to be tossed into a higher tax bracket, and now more money, more problems. Now it feels like life is sitting there kind of balancing you out. It's like a compressor pedal in music. The compressor pedal makes the lows high and the highs low, right? So when you look at it that way, how hard is it to really get ahead in life by any significant margin? It's very hard. I would say, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it almost feels like it's impossible, right? Because there are so many things against you in life and in the government. There are so many federal tax laws. It seems like corporations are kind of weaving in and out of having to pay these said taxes. You got, people starting up nonprofits, but nonprofits have to make their money somewhere, so they're doing some shady things here and there to get actual profits from a nonprofit, or of course classic money laundering. People will always try to get ahead, right, and get through all the regulation and the government red tape. But honestly, does anybody really make money? Yes, of course, but it feels like nobody's making money because change is very hard to come by. There's a guy revving his motorcycle over there. Anyway, so change is very, very hard to come by, right? And change can be expensive. But, I thought about like, I can make more money if I just sold stuff on eBay. Well, really what you're doing is you're making money back when you sell stuff on eBay. You're not really making any money unless something that you have that you're trying to sell has significantly increased in value over the years through solid time investment and unknowingness to the current value of your item that you currently have. That's really the only time you really make money on eBay, in my experience. I've been selling since 2017. But when you just sell on eBay willy-nilly here and there, you're not really making that much money. You're getting money back and it does help pay some bills. But if you just controlled your desires in the first place, you wouldn't have to do stuff like that. And these are things I tell myself because I'm guilty of this as well. It just goes to show you that, it's hard to get your own thing going in life. Sooner or later, you might find yourself trapped in a certain way of living because of choices you've made in the past. I've got friends who've got kids with, in situations where they're a single parent and they're struggling, right? And it's like, well, yeah, but that's the bed you made, right? So you got to be careful about how you make your bed because you got to lay in it at the end of the day, right? And life does not get easier. Seems like there are a lot of entry-level jobs out there that don't pay very well. Everything takes time. Making money takes time. It takes time to spend it, but not nearly as long to make it, right? You know what I'm talking about. We've got AI searching and listening to us and seeing what our shopping methods are and what we like to buy, and that's just ridiculous, man. Everybody's trying to take your money away from you, and if you're not feeling very good in life, it's very easy to spend to feel any sort of joy from materialistic gains, you know what I'm saying? So I just really feel like nobody's making money, right? But if you compare yourself to something that somebody already has, you're looking at their past successes, right? Maybe their times were good with their Dogecoin or whatever the hell, and they made a significant amount of money, right? And they were able to buy a Corvette or something, frivolous like that. And then you look at that and you're like, damn, I wish I had that. And it's like, yeah, I get that. A lot of people would say that, but you don't know where they are now, right? It's the same thing with being an artist. Your current artwork output that you're outputting is a result of your current knowledge base of your skills at that moment. It's almost like taking a picture and uploading it to social media. You're seeing a snapshot in time. Materialistic objects are a snapshot of someone's fiscal time, if you know what I'm saying. That is a result of previous or past success, or maybe current ongoing success. You don't know. But it's nothing to compare yourself to. It really isn't. I've gotten a lot better at not comparing myself to this or that or whoever. They might have a really good job, but they still might be living paycheck to paycheck, given it with the circumstances of maybe where they live, what's their cost of living, right? What tax bracket are they in? What obligations do they have? Maybe they're on their third marriage and they've got to pay child support for these other kids that they had. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very hard to get ahead in life by any significant margin when you're just flying by the seat of your pants through life. And I'm not saying I'm not doing this. I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now too. I'm making this video in an attempt to try and help people maybe think a little bit more critically about that next purchase, or maybe think critically about that next comparison thought that pops into your mind. Because, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And honestly, you might be better off being single with no kids. You know, you save a lot more money that way. Like, yeah, you don't get to raise a family. That's pretty rewarding. I want a family myself one day and some kids, right? But I'm still trying to get my stuff figured out. You know, but while you're doing it, try not to compare yourself too much to other people, because in actuality nowadays, nobody's making money. Unless you're a billionaire, unless you're a millionaire, whatever, everybody's struggling, right? Inflation is really, really high. Cost of living is high. The housing market, fucking forget about it, right? I mean, fucking forget about it. No one's getting a house, right? Not these days. Not me, man. You know, unless maybe you inherit one from your parents, but you still have to have a job to keep that house, right? And that can be a bitch and a half, especially in this current economy. Nobody wants to pay anything. Everything is part-time. You know, and the full-time jobs still don't pay much, but they expect a hell of a lot of you. You know, I've had so many full-time jobs where it's been hard to move up in life and make more money. It's just one of those things where it's just hard for everybody, man. It's like, life is like a chess game, you know, and it's almost like the socio-political powers that be, the economic powers that be, are on one side of that board, and you're on the other side of the board trying your best to make moves, but it just seems like the other side has all of the answers, predicts all of your moves, you know, knows exactly what you're going to do to keep you where you are, right? So to change your life, it takes time. It takes skills. You know, I always encourage people to try and make a product that you can buy or sell to other people, and market yourself in such a way that, like, if you have something that people want, then they're gonna buy it, right? And that could be anything. Content. I love YouTube. I love making videos like this. I think it's a really, really, really good time. I mean, as an artist, guitarist, and writer, I've got so many products that I have that I try to, you know, introduce to people, and hopefully make a little modicum of income from those efforts of mine that took a lot of time and years. Because you're not just selling a product, you're selling years of experience and skill. But anyway, guys, nobody makes money. Everybody's just surviving. I don't know of anybody who is truly thriving in this economy right now, and that's okay, right? For now, because it's not going to last long forever. I know gas is high, everything is high, and everybody's complaining about it. And sometimes I wonder how the world just doesn't simply fall apart, right? I'm like, how do we not run out of food? How do we not run out of water? You know, how do we keep making this thing work? You know what I mean? So don't worry about it. Nobody's making money. I promise you, if you know what I'm saying when I say that, nobody's making money. Everybody's just trying to make it. Everyone's trying to survive and maintain what they have. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Try really hard not to do that. Your time is coming. I know mine is too. I'll find a job that pays well enough for me to actually feel like I'm getting somewhere in life and not just paying off loans and not working towards anything other than giving other people my money. You know, but hey, I went to college. That was my choice. You know, I had a great time, learned a lot of skills, met a lot of great people. I'm glad I went to college. I don't regret it. But yeah, man, it's hard out here. So don't feel too bad. No one's making money. I promise you. Everybody's just surviving. And I hope to God some people are still thriving out there in some small way. It's those small battles that really make the big difference. You know, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Until next time, peace.